Go download my free legato course right now and learn to play fast in the fastest way possible. Hey, what if I could teach you every strumming pattern in the world by teaching you a system of how to strum instead of learning individual strumming patterns? That's what I learned in the beginning. We got a song here, we got some chords, and then we got a strumming pattern, and then I just ended up basically playing the same strumming pattern every single time I played a song. It was like, you know, that was the idea. You know, that just became the standard. And then suddenly I was just so tired of doing that. It was just, ugh, I don't want to hear that ever again, right? I want to be able to go... Right? I want to do all that thing, all that detail. That's what I want to learn. And then I sat down, not in the beginning. I just tried to learn a bunch of strumming patterns, but then suddenly it was like a pattern appeared. This is simple. I just couldn't see how it was simple, but it is simple. Because basically you have even and odd. I'm going to give it to you right here and now. Let's just talk about it. Let's just deal with this. You got even and odd, right? So you tap your foot all the time, right? You got the rhythm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that pulse of the music can basically be divided up into even parts. So I just go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I got a middle thing going up there, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and if I do this with my hand, I have the pulse right here, right? And then I can go. That's a bit of a boring strumming pattern. But if I then leave out stuff, like just in the air. Right? So I can play in the air. We got a system going on here as well. I can play in the air, I can strum the chord, or I can strum a muted chord. So I can go. Do all three, right? Or two, did I say? See, some strokes are left out, some are muted, and some is a chord. So it's also a system up here. But then with that 1 and 2 and 3, and I can double that. So now I have like 4 parts, right? And I divide those 4 parts up into halves. So I got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and, right? Then I can do it even more times. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3. So I got 4 instead of 2, right? So instead of go 1 and I go 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E, and just a way of counting it, right? And that gives me 1 E and 3 E, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and, right? That's my. Let me just slow it down so it's not too fast. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Is that? No, that's not in time. Let me try again. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4. But that's also even. I'm just dividing everything up into half again, right? And if I do this, and I have my muted strokes, and I have my chord strokes, and I have my strokes in the air, that's 3, right? And I combine them, I can do all kinds of cool stuff. Right? It's the same thing every time. It's the same thing. So it's a system, right? So then we have the triplets. That's the odd. I can basically take every single 1, 2, 3, 4, and then go 1, 2, 3, ba 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 ba, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, right? 1 E, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and ba ba ba, and that's a totally different feel. It's like going 1, 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and ba da 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 ba da 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 da. Let me just have that stroking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Oh, it's still recording, sorry. I'm not having a greatest time with my looper today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. It's because of my pedal board here, I'm sorry, it's jamming it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. There it is. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. All the ands are just upstrokes. That's really easy. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Right? Those are odd. So if I now those are all the stuff I can do. So now I can play eighth notes, which is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and that's 16 notes. And I can 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Right, everything comes from that. So that's your system. So why would you ever learn a strumming pattern if you can sit down and learn all strumming patterns? How would we do that? Well, first master just 8 notes, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and practice hitting every single subdivision. That's what we call these little strokes here. Then do 16 notes. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. How do you master those? Well, you just make sure that you can hit every single one of them with either a stroke in the air, a stroke on the chord, or a muted stroke, right? If you can do that, if you can build that skill, then you can play everything. And then the arts as well. This is within your reach right now. You can sit down with a piece of paper, if you still have pen and paper in your house, or with your iPad or your Android, and you can draw that out as a system and say, okay, we got these quarter notes, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we got 8 notes, 1 and 2 and 3. Let me see if I can master all, which means being able to hit all. And then you can just sit down, set little X's, and say, okay, let me see how this sounds, this rhythm. I'm going to put an X to the 1, so I'm going to hit, okay. Then I'm going to hit, 2 and. I'm just going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and the rest is muted. For instance, you can design your own exercises. You can learn to master this at an incredible level, and then whatever strumming pattern, whether it be flamenco or pop, rock, jazz, doesn't matter. You can play it right away. It's like a language. You learn the language, then you can speak it. You don't go every time you go into a new store or something. Oh, let me see. What is that called? A shoe? Is it a shoe? Right? You don't do that because you master the language. You can talk about anything, right? So this is the way to get to that point. It requires you to take a couple of steps back to this system and then grind it, just work with it, and then you will appear on the other side. While other people have learned like 5 different strumming patterns or 10 different strumming patterns and they seem to have progress, you emerge from your practicing room a master of all strumming patterns. That's the power of this. If you want to go more deeply into this, we got a new program which is called the Guitar Learning Revolution 2.0. It's a total remake, makeover, remaking of an older program which we had a ton of. It's one of my most successful programs. That really teaches people to learn at a rapid rate, because the point where that is most important is when you're a beginner or a struggling intermediate that really needs to get these things under control. And what you just saw in this video is a way of saying, what is it that we want to learn? What is this really about? And how can we master all of it by focusing on one point? That's where you get the most out of your time. This is magical. So go check out that program and be sure to watch the video that comes out tomorrow, because we're going to handle another area of guitar playing so you can have more results faster. Subscribe for more free videos. Do it. Do it now. Do it.